morning, my loves. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing fantastic today. I'm feeling a little bit better. Actually, I'm feeling a lot better. I have a good amount of words to deliver for you guys, and I want to just say that before I get into the other words for today, I want to tell you guys the importance of being obedient. So, the Lord tells us, that his plans is to prosper us and not to harm us. Okay? Trust in the plans that I have for you. The plans for you to prosper and not to harm you. That's what God says, right? I want you guys to also understand that faith without works is dead. And I want to tell you guys that obedience is extremely important. Obedience is better than what? Than sacrifice. A lot of people have missed out on opportunities, have missed out on breakthroughs, have missed out on chances because of a lack of obedience and because of disobedience. Okay? Even when obedience is gonna hurt, even when it's rough, even when God is telling you to do some things and you're like, God, it doesn't make sense to me to do that. I'm scared to do that. Or God, what if this happens? Even if it doesn't make sense, as in like whatever he's telling you to do does not match with anything that you're seeing physically, you have to understand that God is strategic. You have to understand that God knows things before it happens, and God knows how to prevent certain things. I want to tell you guys something really quick. In 2016, when I was in that condo and there was a witch outside my door wearing all black and she had a gun, okay? I looked through the peephole and there was a red laser light through the peephole. And around that time, I was extremely afflicted. There were spirits telling me to jump the balcony and kill myself, okay? I also saw the Reaper spirit the night before that, all right? And I remember that I was so afflicted. Even though I was so afflicted and I was hearing all these spirits tormenting me because of what the witchcraft she was doing, I did hear the Holy Spirit's voice throughout the torment. But his voice was very still and soft, and that's how I was able to distinguish his voice versus the other spirits. Now let me tell you this. So there was a life or death decision that I had to make. And I had no idea that it was a life or death decision until I was in the back of that police car on the highway being driven to jail. So what ended up happening was when I lit a candle, a Bath Body Works candle on the island kitchen. And I remember I was staring at the candle and I was like trying to make a decision as to what to do. And this was after I saw the witch outside the peephole, the laser. And I was like, I don't know what to do, God. What do I do? I'm like, God, please save me. I don't know what to do. And while I'm praying and saying all this, spirits are telling me to jump the balcony to kill myself. She's outside the door, clicking the gun. Click, click. I saw the Holy Spirit in the flame of the candle. And he was holding my hand and he was walking with me. We were walking towards the ocean. Okay? After I saw that vision through the candle, this was an open eye vision. I was literally watching the candle flame form into the Holy Spirit and me, and we're walking, and I couldn't believe I was seeing that, because this was when the veil was removed off my eyes, right? They called this psychosis, but it wasn't psychosis. I'll explain more about this to you guys later on. But I made a decision in that moment, and I remember I heard the Holy Spirit say, do not open the door. After I heard the Holy Spirit say that, I went back to the door, and the spirits were saying, open the door, open the door. When I looked through the peephole, she was gone. And then I was like, where'd she go? I looked again, the laser was back. I'm like, oh shoot, she's there. So I moved back from the door, and I literally heard, jump over to the neighbor's balcony. And that was the Holy Spirit. So I jumped 2 balconies over to my neighbor's. And when I got to the neighbor's apartment, I told the neighbor there's someone at my door, they're trying to kill me, call the police. He called the police, and when the police came, they ended up arresting me. So this is a long story, but anyways, the arrest that happened, we found out later on that I wasn't even the person they were looking for, but it was definitely orchestrated and planned out. And You know, so as I was in the back of the police car and I was being driven to jail, the Holy Spirit gave me a revelation. Had I opened that door, she would have forced me to jump the balcony. She would have used the gun and forced me to jump the balcony, making it seem like I committed suicide. Or had I not opened the door, but I stayed there, the spirits would have tormented me until I jumped to the balcony. So the safest decision was for me to be in the back of that police car to save my life. That came from obedience without me even realizing that I was being obedient. All I remembered was he said, do not open the door. And all I remembered was jump to the neighbor's balcony, which was the most logical thing I've heard. These two things were the most logical things that I've heard, you know, compared to all the other things that were being said to me. Jump off the balcony, open the door. Like, do you get it? So I want to tell you something. Remember how when Moses was leading the Israelites out of Egypt, right? And the Holy Spirit told Moses to take someone called me. When Moses was telling the Israelites, okay, let's take the other path, Moses was obedient. He didn't continue on the shorter path. He took the longer path, even though it didn't make sense to him. You get what I'm saying? When God told Moses to use the staff, to hold the staff up, to do whatever he did with the staff and part the sea, what did Moses do? He was obedient and he did that and he parted the sea. Although God is more powerful than Moses and God is more powerful than the enemies, God still wanted Moses to use the authority that he has given him in that moment. Do you get what I'm saying? To teach him, to train him. Many of you guys, God will tell you to do something and you may think it doesn't make sense, or you may think it's not logical, and you won't do it. And what you don't understand is in that moment, God was organizing something for you. God may have said to you, hey, you need to get outside and go to the grocery store and go buy your groceries today. You're like, God, that doesn't make sense. It's raining outside. I'd rather just order, Instacart. Get them to deliver my groceries. Why am I going to... You may think that something so small is not being disobedient. You may say, okay, God, I'm just going to stay home and order my groceries. And you may ignore what the Holy Spirit said when he said, go to the grocery store. You may ignore that. And you may think it's not a big deal. Not realizing that the grocery store that the Holy Spirit was sending you, your husband or your wife was there. Do you get what I'm saying? God may tell you, hey, get up early and start your day early, and you may sleep in. You're like, God, I'm too tired, I'm gonna sleep in. And you may be disobedient. And because you slept in, you're starting your day later. Specific things that would have shifted in your life would have taken place between the hours of probably like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. For instance, let's just say you woke up at 6 a.m. and you started your day and you completed a lot of tasks. So you went outside at 9 o'clock to go and get your breakfast or something. And you may have bumped into someone and started networking with them and talking to them. And there's an opportunity presented pertaining to a job or pertaining to a relationship or pertaining to something that's beautiful through God. So imagine you weren't obedient and you started your day late and you woke up at 8 o'clock. So now you're ending up at that coffee shop, or you're ending up at that place now at 10:30. You missed that moment and you didn't even realize it. You see what I'm saying? God will give us instructions on how to receive certain breakthroughs and opportunities. And sometimes he may not tell us detail for detail what's going to happen. He may just tell us the steps to get there. And through these steps requires obedience. God would even tell us how to trample over serpents and how to defeat our enemies just by following specific instructions, even if it doesn't make sense. So please, when God tells you to do something, be obedient. Because yes, God can change your life like that. God can make things happen like that. But God also wants to teach you and train you how to use the authority he has given you as well. Faith without works is dead. Okay? I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.